Hello, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Either A, you're on my yoga channel, or I'm live streaming on Instagram. So welcome in. Come on in, take a seat, and make sure today we're going to be working on foam rolling. So make sure that you have a handy dandy foam roller, and I'll bring out some other massage tools later. Possibly, I might get around to that you can put into your daily practice. So the main reason why I'm making this video is, yeah, I'm a little selfish, and this is for me. I just went for a run, and like I probably ran, I don't know, 5 miles or so, and then when I got about a half a mile from home, I started walking, and I could feel my IT bands were just super tight. So we're gonna kind of work on mainly the lower half of the body today, and maybe do some upper body stuff. We'll see where we get to over the next 20 to 30 minutes. So come on in, get comfortable, get situated. We're going to start today with just opening up the spine a little bit and stretching out the legs before we start to roll them out. So we'll start in a tabletop position. Going to open up the spine. Make sure your wrists are stacked directly underneath your shoulders. Knees are underneath the hips. Fingers spread wide. Inhale, drop your belly, cow pose. Bring your gaze out in front of you. Exhale, cat pose. Push the ground away from you. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. I want you to get a solid 3 more of these. Inhale, deepest inhalation you can get. And then when you're ready, exhale, cat pose, pushing the ground away from you. One more, just like that. Inhale. You know, we're going to go one more, just for good measure here. Nice and slow and steady wins the race. Meet back in a tabletop. Stick your right foot out behind you. Plant your toes down. Just going to rock the heel back and forth. This is just waking up the calf muscle, just so it has a little bit of awareness. So you might be asking, bring your right knee in, bring your left foot out. Just back and forth. Like, why do you foam roll? What's the purpose of foam rolling? Well, your body, now I'm not a doctor, okay? So I'm just going to state that now, that I'm not a doctor. You should always go see a physician. Bring your left knee back in. From here, tuck your toes underneath. Hike your hips up high to the sky, coming into a downward facing dog position. Feel free to pedal out your feet here a little bit, waking up the calves and the hamstrings. So our body has a lot of fascia connected all around. It's our connective tissue. And what happens is that when you do not work out your muscles, either A, lengthen them, strengthen them, or do any sort of movement, they start to lock up on you. Now, from here, come down to your knees. Swing your legs out in front of you. Going to lower down onto your back. And so your body likes to get inflamed. And the fascia, when it gets inflamed, it creates something called a myofibroblast. I want you to take your left leg, plant it down, bring your right foot high to the sky. Just going to stretch out the hamstring here. You can grab behind the thigh, maybe the calf. Maybe you go all the way up to the foot. Just lengthening through your hamstring down low. So your body with fascia has these things called myofibroblasts. And what they do is that, let's say you have a cut or inflammation in your body, it reacts by tightening up in that specific area. That way it can heal the wound a little bit faster. But the problem is, when you have lots of tiny little inflammation in certain areas of your body, like let's say your lower back, all these little areas start to tighten up on the fascia, and your body gets really tight down there. Slowly lower the right. Gonna lift the left leg up high. And so foam rolling, what it teaches your body is like, hey, listen, if you want to survive, we're going to have to do something about these knots in your body. So it basically tries to dissolve itself just by you rolling over that specific area. Now, it's a little bit more complicated than that, but I guess that's the easiest way that I can describe it. So just like yoga or working out, what you're doing is just sending a signal to your body that if it has to continue doing what you're doing, it has to fix some things. So if you're lifting heavy, your body's like, hey, listen, man, you know, I love your body and all, but we got to do something about this. We got to find a way to get a little bit more strength so the next time we go through this, it's not as difficult. All right, lower your left. Grab your foam roller. From here, pick up, come onto your sit bones. Gonna bring the foam roller underneath the calf muscle. All right, I like to start off with the right. You could start with the left, whichever one you prefer. Just gonna roll it out back and forth. Sometimes I like to bring my other leg on top. That way it just creates a little bit more weight. Really grind into the calf muscle. Oh, yep. Just adding that little bit helps out. And if that's too much weight, you could still bring your heel, your right heel down and just kind of roll it along with it. Just a little bit less weight put onto it. I would recommend that you do like 30 seconds in each position. So this is probably good enough for right now. So now what I'm going to do is just kind of rotate the leg to each direction. This is a little bit more sensitive, especially for me. As I click over to the right, I can feel the muscle just, woo. But anyway, I hope your day's going well. I went for a run today. It was 80 degrees outside. Coronavirus is in full effect right now, but I was out there with shorts and no shirt, just enjoying this beautiful spring day. All right. Now let's come off of the heel, or the calf. We're going to roll onto the other calf. I was talking to somebody about this, but just briefly, about how this whole coronavirus and isolation has just been changing my perspective on life. You know, we all get caught up in the rat race of life, just being like, all right, now I got to do this and I got to do that. And if I want to be successful, I got to do this at this time. And, you know, now everything is just like, hey, listen, man, I know you like this reality that you're living in, but it's kind of under false pretenses. You know, it could all collapse at any moment. So we all like to build ourselves up into this reality that it's not really all that important. But that's just my opinion. I can't wait till after like the whole thing is over with and all the creativity from all these people that are just isolated by themselves, all those creative artists that work well, you know, by themselves are going to come up with some really good stuff. All right. Now let's kind of rotate a little side to side. If you want to start at the bottom of the calf and then just kind of work your way up the calf muscle. Now, see, you can have many different kinds of foam rollers. Right now, I'm using one with knobs on it, which is like probably the toughest one that you can pick. There's soft, there's like a medium hard, and then stuff like this that you can find with little knobs on them. Whichever one is for you. Now, I'm going to say, if you ever feel any pain, please get out of the position that you're in, okay? Your body is not trying to deal with pain when it comes to foam rolling. It's just massaging out that fascia that's in between all of your muscles. It goes in between all of your organs. And what it is, it's kind of like a wet, spongy substance. And when it's not moved enough, it becomes kind of like a sticky substance because there's not enough collagen around the fascia, which is the protein that your myofibroblasts create. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's enough on that calf. Now we're going to roll it up to the hamstring muscle, which is the underneath thigh muscle. Just going to go back and forth. And I love to, I'm going to start making more of these videos, like deep stretching videos, because I feel like, A, I need to be doing more of them, and B, if I do them, I might as well record them. Never hurt anybody. And if you have any recommendations for me that you'd like to see me do, I'm more than welcome to take your suggestions and try to put them to fruition. From here, what I like to do is bring one knee on top and just kind of roll it side to side. Brings a little added weight to the thigh. Or maybe you don't even need that. All right. Coming on to the left thigh now. Fortunately, my hamstrings are probably one of the more flexible parts of my body, and the fascia here is not as terrible as it will be when I get to the quad muscle. When I get to this quad muscle, you're going to hear some noises coming out of me. I won't be proud of them, but it's going to happen nonetheless. All right, now I'm going to roll on over to the quad. So come on to your belly. I'm going to start with my right thigh. You could start with either one. Coming onto the top of the thigh. Just going to roll it out. I'm going to take a little bit more time on the thighs here, or on the quads, because I could feel that they need some tender, loving care in their life. And you know what? I'd love it if you can comment down below with what you're doing to kind of get through with the coronavirus and how you're dealing with isolation. It's a weird time. It's the strangest time in my life that I've been alive for. You know, it's pretty interesting. I'm not looking at it as like an extreme negative. I'm trying to keep it as a positive because there's going to be a lot of good things that come out for this. I feel like society as a whole will be a little bit stronger. All right, now, okay, here now I'm going to come onto the middle of the quad. All right, from there, I might come down to the, bring my head down, and then lift here. Bring the left knee forward. Gonna lift the your right heel to your right glute, or as close as you can. Just gonna roll it side to side. Couple more rolls here, side to side. Then we're just gonna switch out the legs. Bring the foam roller underneath your left quad, or opposite side. Just rock and roll back and forth. For me, how I've been spending my time is A, making these videos, and B, I have been reading like a monster. Books that I was just been trying to get to, I never really seemed to have the time. And now the book I was just reading has been all about fascia and understanding the muscular parts of the body and how it works. And it's definitely going to help me with my yoga practice and teaching. So how are you staying productive during this time? Just couple more rocks here. You can go as fast or as slow as you want with these. And then wherever your comfort zone is here, maybe you just roll it side to side. Maybe you bend the knee, bringing the heel to the glute, a little left to right. Oh boy, certainly can feel it in the quad right here. Now this isn't gonna, just come overnight with this healing of like healing your quads, lengthening out the legs. But if you practice this a few times a week, it just might get rid of some of those like low back pains that you have, maybe leg pains. Taking care of your body, always moving. When we try not to move, like if you think like an astronaut, an astronaut does not have gravity. They're always in space. So when they're in space, it used to be a big issue that astronauts would come back after 6 months and they would have extreme atrophy, which means that their bone density and muscle density has gone down tremendously. So you have to move your body, or else it's going to get stiff like a board. From here, going to massage out the glute muscles. So you can kind of sit onto your foam roller, bring your hands down behind your back, bring your right foot onto your left knee. From here, just kind of shift a little bit onto your left hip and just rolling out the glute muscle here. You can go all the way to the side, getting the side glute muscle, or your gluteus maximus, the main glute muscle. And I'm just going to kind of go a little side to side here. Really digging in to the glute. Remember, no pain though here. Maybe slight discomfort, but pain, step out of it. All right? Now lower the right knee down, then bring the left foot onto the right knee. And just kind of shift onto the right glute, rock back and forth. Today we're just kind of stretching out calves, hamstrings, glutes, and quads, your entire leg. And if you want other videos on like getting maybe your back, shoulders, spine, write a comment down below, and I'll be sure to take your suggestions. From here, going to shift over the foam roller and get one nice little stretch for your hips here. So, bring your right foot, just like we did on the foam roller, right foot to left knee. There should be a hole in between your legs. Bring your right arm in between, grabbing behind the thigh or behind the knee, just pulling the leg in a little bit. Just get a nice little stretch. One more deep breath in. Exhale, plant both feet down. Switch out your legs, left foot on top of right knee. Grab in between, whichever variation you took on the other side. Taking a few deep breaths in this position. One more deep breath in. Slowly lower the feet down. Last pose that we're going to take here. Bring your feet up the wall, so the soles of the feet are pointing towards the sky. Knees are bent, arms are on the inside of your knees, grabbing the outside of your feet. Little happy baby pose here. Let's move this water bottle. From here, feel free to sway a little side to side, drawing your femurs, the top of your thigh bones, into your hips. Low back is connected to the ground here. Maybe you lengthen one leg out, lengthening through your hamstring and your calf, trying to flex your toes towards your face. Then possibly the other leg. And then maybe both legs up. Bring them together, straighten them out, and then slowly let it go. All right. So yeah, that's going to do it for today. Just a nice, quick little video. Hope you appreciated it. My tongue is sticking to my mouth. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. To everyone, namaste.